Good morning, all of you. I hope you all are doing well. Today, let us discuss, I would say, last poem in the course because the next one is an essay, the last one. This poem is titled At the Lahore Karhai and it is written by Imtiaz Dharkar. Now, if I tell you about the title At the Lahore Karhai, Lahore Karhai is a restaurant in Wembley, London. Okay? Lahore Karhai. Right? And Imtiaz Dharkar has written a book, I Speak for the Devil. Written in 2001, and this poem has been taken from this work by Imtiaz Dharkar. Okay, a very renowned poet as well as an artist and a filmmaker. Now, as we studied our last poem, which was Indian movie New Jersey, it was dealing with the feelings of the immigrants. Now, this particular poem again is the nostalgia, Nostalgia kya hota hai? When you miss anything for that matter. When you miss upon something, you miss upon your roots, you miss upon your past, you miss your family. That is what is nostalgia, is to remember the things that are very close to your heart. Okay? So, nostalgia of the immigrants who are away from their homelands. Now, this one is a very interesting poem by Dharkar, Imtiaz Dharkar. And what I really liked about this poem is the comparison which Dharkar makes and how beautifully, she is telling you that what kind of nostalgia people who have moved from their country to a different country, what kind of nostalgic feelings they face, and what do they do? What do they do to overcome that feeling of nostalgia, right? Now here the poet says that I visited Lahore Karhai, a restaurant in Wembley, London, with my friends, and for me it was like as if I was going for a pilgrimage. Pilgrimage क्या होता है? Pilgrimage is a journey to a holy place. तो रेस्टोरेंट में जाके खाना खाना कोई pilgrimage तो नहीं हुआ, isn't it? It's not a pilgrimage. So let us read what she has to say. It's a great Sunday, she says, when we pile into the car. We get into the car. 4 or 5 friends, they get together on a Sunday and they get into the car and set off with a purpose. What is the purpose? A pilgrimage across the city to Wembley. Why it is a pilgrimage? Because for them it is like they are visiting their home. How, you will understand later. I will start again. It's a great day, Sunday, when we pile into the car and set off with a purpose. A pilgrimage across the city to Wembley. The Lahore Karhai. So they visit this restaurant in Wembley, England. And when they reach there, lunch service has begun. Lunch service had started there. They had started serving the lunch in the hotel, in the restaurant. No beer, we are Muslim, she says. But the morning sun squeezed into juice and Yaad Na Jai on the 2-in-1. So this old song from one of the Bollywood movies, old gems, Yaad Na Jai Beete Dino Ki, right? They were hearing that. It was being played on the 2-in-1 in the restaurant. And when she says, but the morning sun squeezed into juice, so they would not prefer beer, but they would prefer to take a juice. But the morning sun had already overtaken that feeling of having a juice or a beer. Though they do say, we do not take beer, we are Muslims. On the Grand Trunk Road, thundering across the Punjab to Amritsar, this would be a dhaba where the truck drivers pull in, swearing and sweating, full of lust for real food, just like home. Now, there is a point which you have to understand. She is making beautiful comparisons out here in this poem to make you explain her point. Now, you know what she says. She is comparing herself and her friends to the truckers on GT Road, Grand Trunk Road, GT Road, right? And this restaurant, Lahore Karhai, she is saying it is like a dhaba. अब कंपैरिजन कैसे है बिना पढ़े पहले मैं आपको इस चीज को समझाती हूँ. These people, the truck drivers, they travel day and night, all day long, sometimes all night long. They keep traveling, right? They miss their home really bad, right? Because it's for continuous 10, 11, maybe month. For so many days, they do not go back to their homes, right? And when these truckers, they visit a dhaba on the Grand Trunk Road, that the food over here at the dhaba is for them like they are at home, which means they are having the food that is cooked at home. So they eat at these dhabas. Okay. Now similarly, the poet is saying that we, the immigrants too are like the truckers. Huh? What do? Whenever they miss home, when they feel nostalgia, they visit this Lahore Karhai. And what is so special about Lahore Karhai? You get, ये जो home की feeling इनको आती है ना, why they get this feeling? Because there you get Indian food. This is the feel. This is the real thing, and this is the real comparison. Through the immigrants being compared to the truckers, what is poet trying to tell you? That we too find a feeling of being at home. जैसे pilgrimage बोल रही थी ना वो Lahore Karhai जाना, to go to Lahore Karhai was a pilgrimage, is a pilgrimage for all of them. In the same, why? Because there they get a feel of being in India, of having food that is cooked at their homes, right? And similarly, these truckers visit this dhaba to get a feel of home. And what gives that feel of home is the food that is cooked there, right? This is the comparison. This is the whole crux of the poem. Now let's see what is further. So, on the Grand Trunk Road, thundering across the Punjab to Amritsar, this would be a dhaba where the truck drivers pull in, swearing and sweating. Swearing over here is the जैसे गालियाँ जो truck drivers देते हैं, that is part of their vocabulary. They use it, you know, it comes naturally to them. So that is swearing and sweating, sweating in the sun, sweating in the hot weather, right? Full of lust for real food. Real food means nothing but food that is cooked at home, just like home. So now she's comparing herself, immigrants, to the truckers. Now as these truck drivers, they head to the dhabas for food, similarly the poet and her friends, they reached, or they are heading for Lahore Karhai. Now hauling our overloaded lives the extra mile, we are truckers of another kind. So I've just told you this. So what she's saying, dragging their lives in a foreign country, that is what it means. Hauling our overloaded lives. Overloaded lives, what it means here, that for various reasons they have moved to this country, they have moved to make money, they are staying away from their loved ones, from their beloved ones, from their family, from their parents, and it is like they are dragging their lives in this country where they have come to make money, right? We are truckers of another kind, looking hopefully years away from Sialkot. अब years away क्यों बोल रहा है? Because पहले Sialkot जो था, that was in Pakistan, and Chandigarh, for the taste of our mother's hand in the cooking. So they are feeling homesick and they eat at these dhabas, which give them a feeling of eating at home. Clear? The comparison has been sought out over here in these first 3 paragraphs. Now, so we arrived at this table. They have arrived at a table. The Lahore run away. Then there are many people. Now in this paragraph, she will tell you who all are there, people over there. There is the Sindhi refugee with his beautiful wife who prays each day to Krishna. So this is the first couple that is there, a Sindhi refugee, right, and his beautiful wife who keeps praying to Lord Krishna. Keeper of a kitchen and her life, which means she is a housewife and she takes care of a house and Sindhi refugee's house and his kitchen. So basically what he's trying to tell, that Sindhi's wife is a homemaker, right? Then there is an English man too young to be flavored by the Raj. अब ये Raj जो है, it deals with the aspect of India, these British people being colonizers. ठीक है? The girls with silky hair carrying the confident air of Bombay. So there are girls who are from Bombay. Their confidence and their silky hair tells that they are from the city Bombay in India, right? So these are the people who, some other people who are there at the restaurant. So did you notice? It is only people from India and Pakistan are there who can be seen at Lahore Karhai. What being the reason? That Indian food is being cooked there. For that sake, अब वो Indian food खाने तो नहीं जाते, obviously, but they go there to deal away with their nostalgia, to deal with the feeling of being homesick, right? This the poet will tell you later. This winter, we have learned to wear our past like summer clothes. So, coming to this restaurant, Lahore Karhai, on a Sunday and eating Indian food is like we are wearing summer clothes in winter season. So what they have come to remember their past. That is what it means. Wearing summer clothes in winter simply means remembering the past. Yes, a great day. So the Sunday, she says, is a great day for all of us. A feast. Now the food for them is more like a feast for them. It is like a celebration for them. We swoop, we eat on a whole family of dishes. So they eat so many things that are available. They order so many various different kinds of dishes at the hotel, at the restaurant. The tarka dal is Auntie Hamid. आधे कढ़ाई गोश्त is Khala Amina. Khala Masi को बोलते हैं. The gajar halwa is Appa, sister Rasida. So the foods that they are eating, tadka dal and karhai ka gosht jo bana hai wahan and gajar ka halwa. So it is reminding the poet of people from her family way back home in India. And what is she saying? Tadka dal reminds her of her aunt Hamid. Karhai ghost reminds her of her Masi Amina, Khala. And gajar ka halwa reminds her of her sister Rashida. So they used to make these things very deliciously, right? That is why she is remembering them when she is eating those dishes at this restaurant, right? The warm naan is you. Naan hum sab samajhte hain. The warm naan is you. She is saying to her companion that the warm naan that I'm eating with all these dishes reminds me, or it is you, your warmth I can feel in the naan. So her companion is with her. Remember this, because she's saying the warm naan is you. You is her companion. My hand stops halfway to my mouth. As she's eating, her hand stops here, halfway. She's not taken the bite in her mouth, but she just stops and she takes a look around the restaurant and what she feels. Let's have a look at it, what she feels. The Sunday light has locked on, sorry, all of us. So what she is observing, let us read that. She observes that the Sunday light has locked on all of us. And who all? The owner's smiling son, the cook at the hot kebabs, Kartar, Rohini, Robert, Aisha, Sangam, I, bound together by the bread we break, sharing out our continent. So the bond which is between all of us, the owner of the restaurant, the cook at the restaurant, and all her friends and she herself, they all are bound together as immigrants. That is what she means here. Okay, so wherever or up to the look that she takes in the restaurant, she finds that one way or the other, we all are somehow connected, right? These are ways of remembering. These are ways of remembering our past. These are ways of remembering our home. What these? Visiting this place where we get Indian food. Other days, she says, other days we may prefer what? Chinese. Okay, so from this last line it gets very clear that on that day, on Sunday, everybody who is there, they are immigrants, right? And through this particular poem, Dharkar, she is trying to tell us that how all of them are connected. They all have come to this place to overcome their what? To overcome their nostalgia, okay? Their feeling of being homesick. Usko overcome करने के लिए all these immigrants have visited this particular place. So food is not important. Food is not important over here. The feeling of sitting together and sharing that nostalgia is what is the most important thing, which Imtiaz Dharkar is trying to highlight through this poem at the Lahore Karhai. Okay. Now, it is very important when she says that had it been some other day, very casually, if we are coming and we are not coming with that thought of missing home or with that thought of feeling nostalgia of that experience which every immigrant has in a foreign land, you know, then if we had not come with that feeling, we would have preferred to eat a Chinese food or maybe something else. But today, we all are, all those people who are there, all those immigrants who are there, we are bound by one feeling, and that feeling is the feeling of nostalgia, which brings them to Lahore Karhai. Okay? Very interesting poem. I somehow really like it. If you people, I wonder, +2 करके आए हैं आप लोग, but still maybe you would have studied in boarding schools. At times, eating the hostel food is what gives you this kind of a feeling. Obviously immigrants नहीं है, but एक जो feeling है ना, missing the home, missing your people, feeling nostalgia, feeling homesick, that feeling somehow you can really understand. Okay, how I'm able to connect to it, because I have done my higher studies being in the hostel, and when I got into job 15-16 years back, I have worked outside and away from my place where my parents live, you know. So that feeling of nostalgia, that feeling of homesickness, I can very well connect to. But yes, here the most important aspect is this, you know. This aspect is also very, very important, because here it is having a feeling of nostalgia in a foreign land. उस चीज को मत भूलिएगा. Okay, having a feeling of these immigrants who are having a feeling of nostalgia in London, in a foreign land. That is what it means. Okay, so I think you can very well correlate the things now. There would not be any doubts as such. Still, if at all you fail to build a connectivity, you are free to ask. Okay, remember how the poet has compared herself to the truck drivers, how Lahore Karhai is compared to being a dhaba, and each and every immigrant who is present in this restaurant is somehow connected with this feeling. That is why she stops her piece of food and just have a look at everybody, and then she says that we are somehow connected by the bread we break, sharing out our continent. So the bond which she is sharing with these people who are there in the restaurant, whether her friends, whether the cook or the owner of the restaurant, that bound as immigrants is what holds a great importance. Okay? I hope it's clear now. Still कोई doubts हैं? You're free to ask. Now with this, we are left with the last essay, the brand expands, and then we will be done with the course. So for today, that is all. See you next time. Take care.